the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Touchdown.
Welcome back to All Things Football, where you get your daily dose of pigskin. It's your host, Coach ATF, back for one more quick 2-minute. Now, before we get started, smash that like button, throw a subscribe in there, and comment. I want to engage with you guys. Thank you very much. Now let's get started. The last couple of weeks, I've talked about Oklahoma and their quarterback situation, Spencer Rattler, all that, Lincoln Riley. We'll get to more of that later, but right now let's talk about Texas, their Big 12 rival. Their rival in the Red River Showdown. Now, this past weekend, we had that game. And again, it was a thriller, just like it's been the last couple of years. This one went to 4 overtimes. 4 overtimes. That's crazy. But unfortunately, for Texas, it resulted in a loss for the Longhorns. Now, I think if they had won this game, everything's looking okay. You can forgive but not forget the loss to TCU last week. But they lost it, and Tom Herman is absolutely on the hot seat. Now let's look at Tom Herman since he's gotten there in 2016. There are a few things that the Texas boosters, the very involved boosters down in Texas, want to see you do. They want to see you first sweep Texas. That means beating TCU. That means beating all your other Texas opponents, Texas Tech. And most importantly, it means beating them consistently. You have to consistently win against those opponents, sweep Texas, and look forward to the Oklahoma game, in which you have to win. You have to win. And I know they've been a very good football team during the Lincoln Riley era. They've had some great quarterbacks, but right now that's not the case. They got a young quarterback. You've got Sam Ehlinger. You have to win this game if you're Texas. And they did not pull through yet again. And that goes back to a history of losing to Oklahoma. In 2019, they lost 34-27. And that followed a 12-point loss in the 2018 Big 12 championship game. And that's just not good enough, even though they did win the regular season matchup in 2018. Now, you've only swept Texas once if you're Tom Herman. That's not good enough. And you've only beaten Oklahoma in one regular season matchup. That's not good enough. You've dropped games to TCU during several regular season matchups. That's not good enough. And the boosters are very involved in Texas football. We saw that with the stories coming out of Texas about Coach Strong a few years back. Now, it's very hard to go to a historically good program and withstand the outside media forces of the pressure of coaching the Texas Longhorns, but you have that pressure from the inside as well. People chirping in the athletic director's ear and, stuff like that. And Texas football has a very great historical reputation. In Texas, football is everything. It is the air you breathe. It's the food you eat. It's what you bleed. And at the center of that are the Texas Longhorns in high school football. You're talking about a program whose history stretches back over 120 years, and they have a 70% win percentage. And that's with the slew of bad coaches they've had in this decade. So I'm very worried if I'm Tom Herman. All you can do is push forward, try to finish out the rest of the season strong. Maybe you can beat Oklahoma again in the Big 12 championship game. They have 2 losses as well. So, and there are rumors about, Graham Harrell, who's the OC at USC. He's got Texas ties, so it's going to be a very interesting story, this Texas job going forward, as it has been for quite some time now. So I appreciate you guys. I just wanted to give you a quick rundown and my thoughts on the whole Texas situation. Let me know what you think, Texas fans. Speak up, comment. I really want to engage with you guys. I appreciate your time. Thanks again. I'll be back with you guys real soon. ATF out.